Before we dive into the review, let me just say I have not played every FromSoft or Souls-like game ever. I have played Elden Ring and I have played Sekiro, so I compare Lies of P to them. This is my first real crack at a game review, so don't crucify me if it's not up to par. And if you do watch this video to the end, please drop a comment letting me know if I did a good job or not. But let's get into it. Our game starts in an old abandoned train car in the spookiest subway you've ever seen. We play as Krat's #1 stepper Pinocchio, who has been awakened by a strange blue butterfly in order to save the world from a calamity going on called the Puppet Frenzy, where the puppets who were made to serve humans turned to an all-eye robot on Krat. Not to mention the petrification disease that's spreading through Krat, killing and zombifying everything it comes in contact with. You learn early on puppets in Krat are incapable of telling lies.
Grand Covenant's fourth law. A puppet cannot lie. Welcome to Hotel Krat.
But Pinocchio isn't like any other puppet because he can actually tell a fib and is slowly becoming human. You alongside your allies, such as Geppetto, the creator of all puppets and Pinocchio's dad, that you meet shortly after reaching Hotel Krat, your home base of sorts. You and your fairy tale G-League team must band together to get to the bottom of things. And when I say band together, I really just mean you, Pinocchio, and Jiminy, who really doesn't help alongside providing comic relief.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Is this Jiminy talking?
welcome aboard the Pilgrim's Cable Railway.
I'm not amused, while everyone else sits at the hotel with their tails between their legs, unable to protect themselves. But I must say the story in Lies of P is a pretty good one. You'll recognize familiar characters and places that you played through if you're familiar with the original story of Pinocchio. Even if you're not, you can still enjoy the game. The devs did a great job building Krat. There's a lot of collectibles you can pick up to learn lore and to get a better idea of what's been going on in Krat. Or you can just watch videos like this on YouTube, whatever floats your boat. Let me start this segment off by letting it be known, shit ain't sweet in Krat. The baddies in this game will really run you a clean fade, no Vic blends. If you can't get the parry time right, or get good at dodging, you better get over leveled or you will get rolled in a pack. Or at least that's what I've been told. I wouldn't know personally because your boy don't lose. But if you're not like me and you actually take L's, you should take some time to get your parry game down. And if you can't, just hold the block button, that's a little tip. If you get your lick back after holding the block button, you can get a little bit of health back like in Bloodborne. Lies of P has a really interesting weapon system, unlike anything I've ever seen, where you can mix and match handles and blades or whatever. It's really cool. You can make up to 6,847 combinations. Maybe I lied. I don't know the exact number, but you can make a lot of combinations. And every combination feels different. The handles and the blades both have their own special ability and stats. You're gonna put a dagger on a long ass handle and make an awkward spear that can only be swung overhead? You can do that. Or maybe you wanna put a 6-foot bone sawing blade on a butter knife handle? You could do that too. I like my weapon to allow me to strike fast, bob and weave type shit. So I use smaller daggers and shorter handles pretty much all game. But if you like to knock the socks off your enemies, you could definitely make something that does that. The weapons also have a durability and elemental system. You have to watch your weapon's durability in battle, because if it gets too low or breaks, you only do a fraction of the damage until you fix it. With the elemental system, you can add different effects to your grindstone that can give your weapon whatever status effect you might need at the time. But if your weapon already has a status effect on it, the grindstone can't change it or add to it, so it only works on plain Jane weapons. There's even some legendary weapons you can get for beating bosses, but I won't spoil that part for you. Lies of P also has an interesting take on the skill tree. Pinocchio has what's called a P organ. Before you laugh, I'm not talking about bros and meat. Pinocchio ain't out slanging meat around Krat to get stronger or whatever just popped into your head. The P organ is more like his heart, the source of his power. And through said P organ, you can unlock different perks and abilities. But to get an upgrade, you have to get an in-game item called a quartz. I guess Pinocchio likes rocks.
I'm not retarded, but I like rocks.
Don't know why they pick magic rocks as currency for upgrades, but they probably have a lower reason. I must say, some of these perks are ass though, like really ass. But others are really good, so I guess they kind of balance out. Just like the weapon system, the skill tree is unlike any I've ever seen. You get to pick from a lot of smaller perks, and after you get enough mini perks, you can get a big perk. I don't know any other way to put it, but you feel what I'm saying. And New Game Plus adds on even more perks to the tree, so on your second playthrough, you can get perks you've never even seen before. Lies of P also takes a page straight out of Sekiro's book with the Legion arm, and this shit is broken. You can upgrade and switch it out to a bunch of different things. For my playthrough, I only used 2 of them, the electric one for when I was fighting puppets, which happened a lot, surprisingly. And the fire one for everything else. But these aren't even the most broken. The damn puppet string was like a super move that can combo into another super move. But I stayed away from that one. A little too OP for my taste. I can't really speak on any of the other options, but I heard some of them are really good, and with enough upgrades, you'll be able to switch Legion arms mid-battle like your weapons. One of the most important stats in Lies of P is the weight capacity. I didn't pay much mind until late game, and boy did it make a difference. Lies of P has a lot of different items you can use for buffs like amulets and defense parts, and they are so useful. The right defense part can take you from getting one shot to actually standing a chance. But the better they are, the more they weigh, which is why capacity is so important. So get your weight up, little nigga. The other stats are just as important though. First three, health, stamina, and weight, are non-negotiable. Level them up. But the last three are more on preference. For example, the technique stat, I played over 50 hours and never touched it. But you might have a build where you favor it. But every stat is very important. And I can't forget about the soundtrack. Listen to this heat, bro. There are times when I just open up the game and listen to it. I won't even play, and there's a lot more heat where that came from. All right, that's enough glazing. Let's talk about some of the things I didn't like. This game can feel kind of slow at times. Pinocchio has a lot of recovery frames. There's a perk you can get that helps you recover faster when you get knocked down, but you have to play a little bit before you can actually get it. I tried to do it. Oh my God, he just squished me like a bug. Wow, that's crazy. I need to get that next dodge ASAP. I've seen people debating online whether or not that should be unlockable or just a core mechanic. And just being honest, if you ask me, bro, if you debate for the latter, you just suck. Get good. You feel me? Like, all your skill issues got your little baby coming out. Lies of P doesn't have much character customization like other Souls-likes. You can mix and match outfits and masks, but you can't really have your own style.
What is that?
And Pinocchio has almost no poise. If a gust of wind hits this man mid-wind up, you have to reset. That's it. Maybe I could nitpick more about the game if I was more familiar with Souls-likes, but this is only my third game ever in the genre, and for what it is, I love it. Being a sort of newbie to the Souls-like genre, I know a lot of you Souls-like purists might not agree with what I think, but this game is a masterpiece. I haven't been as invested in the game since Elden Ring came out, and I played a lot of good games this year, but so far, Lies of P stands above all. Aside from the crazy long recovery frames, the game is pretty much flawless to me. There was never a time when an enemy felt broken, although I heard the game got some pretty hard nerfs before I actually played it, so maybe if I would've played it sooner, I'd have a different opinion, but I don't, and the game is great. I gotta give Lies of P a perfect 5 on my grading scale. This is a game you should play, and if not, you're missing out. Later on in the future, when you come back and play it, you're gonna be like, damn, that nigga was right. And I'm gonna be there to tell you I told you so. So let's just avoid all of that. You can play it right now after you drop a like and subscribe. I stayed away from talking about the story because I don't want to spoil too much for anybody who hasn't played the game yet. And this is the devs' second game ever. Their first attempt at a Souls-like, and they knocked that shit out the park, bro. That's crazy. Your second game ever should look something like this. Not like this. But let me know what you think about this review. Have you played Lies of P? If you have, let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section. We can argue. If you think it was shit, tell me why. If you enjoyed it just as much as I did, tell me why. I got a couple more games lined up that we're gonna do reviews on. So if you wanna see a review on Spider-Man 2 and Starfield, make sure you subscribe. Drop a comment letting me know some other games y'all wanna see reviews on. New or old, don't really matter. And I'll see what I can do. But until then, we out.